Hello Flosstube, welcome to my channel. My name is Jess, I'm Cross-Stitch Jess here and on Instagram. My pronouns are she and her, and this is going to be my Monogamous May Flosstube update. Woo! It does mean this is probably going to be relatively short because I'm only going to have one cross-stitch project to show you. I might have some other crafty side quests, but yeah. Let's get stuck in. So the project that I am going to be working on for the entire month of May, 31 days straight, is Gamer Nouveau. Pop her on this side so that you can see the thumbnail as well. So this beast is my biggest ever project. It's just shy of 200,000 stitches. I started her in December 2024, so she is 18 months old now. My goal for this was, like, overarching goal is to get it done in 5 to 10 years of starting it. And my way of doing that is to aim for 10% progress minimum per calendar year. So as it stands, last year I just snuck her over the line of 25%. So smashed the 10% goal, smashed the 20% goal, and crept up to 25%. So we're on track, we're doing well, we're ahead of track, as it were. So for this month, let me give you some stats on where we're starting. So she is currently at 50,335 stitches, which is 25.48%. And I have a plan. So the way I found that worked really well on this last time, let me fold her a little. Can I be bothered with the board? I should bother with the board, it's worth it. Okay, so the way that worked really well for me on this last time is I came down and did this black outline on her hair, all of the 310. And basically then just worked down to that line. So I'd pick a colour and basically fill it in this whole area, which worked really well. It helped feel like I was colour completing even if it was within a limited area. It gave, like, it really helped be able to see the progress. So when I held the before and after, it wasn't like there are a few stitches here and a few here and a few over there. It was like an area that was distinct. I don't really work well in pages because I get to the edge of a page and I'm like, but there's just 2 stitches on the next page. Why would I not do them? Like, they're right there. So the page thing just doesn't really work for me. And also, if there are only like 5 stitches on a page, you're swapping colours a lot, whereas this is like probably 3 to 4 pages worth that I'm working across. And by going up to that darker outline, typically the colours above that line are one sort of subset of the full colour palette, and the colours below it are a different subset. So it was quite nice to fill in and feel like I'd come to a logical edge point rather than a really arbitrary page edge. My plan this time then, this is where the board is not big enough, hang on, reshuffle. Need a bigger board. I really don't. This is the only project that would warrant it. So pin that and that. So the plan this time is to basically do the same but on the other side. So coming down from her headphones, which I'll come back to in a second, there is a black cable. Do you know what? This is probably easier to show you on the mock-up. So coming down from her headphones is this cable, and then there's an outline of dark stitching that comes up her arm, across the controller, sort of back down her arm, and then around some of these leaves, or possibly just around the edge of Sonic there. So I'm planning to do that first, to put in that black sort of outline, and then focus on the area above that. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for the 10%. It might be that I get that done and then I need to carry on somewhere. But effectively all of her sort of face, this chunk of her hair, all of this background area, I have no idea what these are called from Mario, these flowers, and then hopefully that will also get me to some of this nice easy background for if I need some low-key stitching. If I get to that point, if I've done all of that and I've still got time and I've not hit my 10%, maybe like some of these background sections might be good to do. I mean, some of them, like for example, there's a bit in here of background that matches up here, so I might do that, include that in the first sort of chunk of stuff, just because it's, again, it's a continuation of that colour palette. I might as well cross it all off. But yeah, we're sort of aiming for this sort of point to be done. So that is where we're starting from. Let me hold her up again in all of her current glory. So as you can see, I've already done some of her face. So sort of all of this area is where we're going to be focusing. Hi Flosstube, welcome to my channel. My name is Jess. I am Cross Stitch Jess here and on Instagram. My pronouns are she and her. I am going to apologise in advance. This is a full take 2. I filmed all of this morning and then realised that with how warm it's been and with all the windows and things open, you could hear lawnmowers going in the background a lot louder than I clocked when I was filming. So I'm going to have several times, I'm sure, where I'm like, I don't know if I already said that. Have I said it this time? Did I say it last time? Please bear with. Welcome to this particular update. It feels weird doing like I'm going to show you my stitching update, because I've filmed and uploaded 2 videos that were like talking about other things. So one about my plans for the rest of the year, my theme plans, and one about how I store digital patterns. I actually filmed, I think, 2 more as well over the past month. I kind of went a little bit filming crazy. So did I film 2 more? I don't know. I know for sure I did a sewing method tutorial because several people have asked me for that recently. So that will hopefully be edited and uploaded soon. But yeah, it feels like it's been ages since I've done like I'm going to show you my stitching update, but that's what we're here for. I'm going to show you my stitching. Now I started this a few days early at the end of April because I actually have a retreat coming up at the end of May and I wanted the freedom if I'm going to be doing like 2 full days of stitching, I wanted the flexibility to be able to chop and change, to jump between projects. So we started a few days early so that I could finish a few days early, but I have actually finished even more early because I set myself a goal and I hit the goal in 27 days rather than 31. And at this point, the goal is enough that I am more than happy with what I've achieved. I am, however, done working on this project for a little while. I love her, but I need a break. So without further ado, we have Gamer Nouveau. Da, 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 da. So Gamer Nouveau, I have the Gecko Rouge chart. They unfortunately no longer work with Medusa Dollmaker, so you can no longer get this from them. Medusa Dollmaker does have her own PDF version of this chart, but I mean, if you're interested in that, have a look on Flosstube for people who've done comparisons. Off the top of my head, I can't remember who. But I've definitely seen out there people who have done like a side-by-side comparison of like even when you look on the listing, the background is checkerboard on the Medusa Dollmaker version. On this, it's solid, so it's a lot easier to stitch. I can only speak for the Gecko Rouge version. I love it. Highly recommend it if you can get it. I got mine by stalking people online who had finished it and messaging them to say, any chance you're done with that, can I pinch it? And I was very kindly sent it, for which I'm very grateful. So where am I going to put it? I don't normally do before and after photos, but for this, it's worth it. So maybe down here, under my chin, stand up, sit up, is where I was a month ago. So we have added a whole, I guess it's just over 10%. I have added 20,098 stitches. 10% would be 19,758, I think. So we've chucked an extra sort of 300 stitches on there just to round it out. So basically all of her hair is new. A lot of the detail in her face I had started, some of the background sort of chunky colours, all of her shoulder here, and then from roughly this cross, the plus sign, across all of that background is mostly new. These two, I want to say Venus flytraps, but I don't know if that's the proper name for them in Mario. All of this leaf, the flowers, all of this sort of grey background in the middle, all the way down to this other flower. And then on this side, the leaves here have all been filled in, and I think I've extended all of this down a little bit more. I think we stopped about here before. So we've added a lot, and I'm really, really happy. My goal on this, when I first started it, is that I wanted it done within 5 to 10 years. So aiming for sort of 10 to 20% added each year. So we've now hit the minimum of that. I will carry on working on her for Flosstuber Frenzy. She is assigned to Marika Stitches. Marika hasn't posted for like, I think February and March, and maybe April, due to health, but she has come back to Flosstube during May. So Gamer will come back out at some point in June to add those stitches, but definitely working on some other projects first for a little bit of a break. I'm so happy with how she's coming out. Something I've realised, I did take a photo every single day, so what I will also do is put together like a little GIF style flick through so you can see her growing, because I thought that would be fun. And it definitely helped me when I felt like there were a few days that were a bit of a slog. It was really helpful to be able to look back at how she'd looked just 24 hours before and like see the difference, because sometimes it feels like you're putting in stitches and it makes no difference, but it really does. Something I realised as well, the first few days I kind of did all of these dark outlines, like almost everything on this has a dark outline, and I found that really helpful both for creating a boundary of like, this is the area I want to focus on and fill in. If you have watched before, you'll know I do tend to lean towards extreme cross country, but that does mean it sometimes, a project feels like it sort of is a bit like a black hole. It kind of absorbs all of your stitches and doesn't look any different. You don't really see the progress. So for this, I really enjoyed having like a defined area with these dark outlines sort of separating the area I was going to focus on. But then also, for example, in this flower, it had that dark outline, and it then meant, or the hair, I guess is probably a better example, I could go through and pull all the colours for her hair and just work through them and feel like I was filling in that element of the design. So I really love it. I'm really curious as well what you guys think. Before and after photos. I don't normally bother with before photos because, to be really blunt, I'm not that organised normally. For this, obviously, because I've been taking a photo a day, I definitely have a before. But do you like before photos so that you can see the progress that someone's made when they're showing something on Flosstube? Is that something you'd want to see? Because I can definitely do it, it's just never occurred to me before that I could or should. So I'd love to know what you think, if that's something you'd like to see more of. I kind of just want to sit here and hold her up. I love her. She looks so good. Yay. So that is obviously the main event. But I do have a bunch of other things to show you. So I've been busy. So I had one FFO, which was my Ottoman tiles from Vivsters. I definitely adapted this heavily. It's not the full pattern. I just picked the tiles I liked the best and sort of made them into a mini. But I got that framed up and gifted that to my mum for her birthday. I will pop in a picture because it didn't occur to me to film a clip or anything when I had that in my hand still. So yeah, I had kind of hoped to get more FFOing done as my like palette cleanser for the stitching, but didn't it just didn't work out like that. I apparently leaned into filming lots of Flosstubes instead. But it is what it is. We got one off the list. The next thing that I wanted to show you, because I mean this is now 3 weeks ago, but I forget that I haven't shown you it, is my crochet. Look at it. So I have been working on this to make myself a hexy cardie. So this entire yarn cake worth, this half of the cardie, is now done. I say done. The outer colour, this sort of, I think it's called champagne, there actually wasn't enough of that colour to do a full round. So you can see here, this edge still has some of that sort of mustard, that's the word I'm looking for, mustard yellow in it, whereas this one is pure champagne. I also think I want it to be a tiny bit bigger, particularly like the sleeve length and the cardigan length. I think I'm okay with like the sleeve diameter, is that the right word? But I'm gonna wait until I've done the other half, which I have here. It's like a mini version. I'm gonna wait till I've done both halves so that I can accurately work out how much I need, rather than just ordering a bunch and having to order again or having some left over. So this is my second half. I lasted all of one day between finishing one and starting the next, because this has become kind of my bedtime routine. Put Alfie to bed, brush my teeth, all that kind of thing, and then just settle down in bed and crochet for half an hour. So I had one evening where I didn't have it, and the next morning I immediately started it. So for those who were worried that I was going to have second sock syndrome and I'd end up with half a cardigan and a yarn cake that I couldn't be bothered to crochet up, apparently making it part of my routine was the solution to that. We did not fall into the second sock syndrome trap. Yay. The next thing that I wanted to show you, I made my first ever clothing. I got my sewing machine out. I got the pattern. It was a free pattern, so I will link the website for that below. But I made pajamas. They're ginormous. I made the biggest size on the pattern because I'd rather have them be really big and then just bring them in with the elasticated waist than have made them too small and be really disappointed and never want to make clothing again. So we started off gentle. I absolutely love them. They're super soft. I got the fabric from TurtleBayTextiles, I think last year. Sounds about right. It's probably been sat around in my house for about a year. But now I have pajamas instead, and I love them. I finished them just in time for us to have a heat wave where it's completely inappropriate to be wearing trousers this baggy and warm and fluffy. But it is what it is. we made a thing. And I also made another thing. I made the project bag. So we Beth and I decided to do a weekend trip down to Bridgend in South Wales and go to visit Sophie at TurtleBayTextiles and also to see Soph and join the Sunday Stitch Club. But because we went down on Saturday, we had some time, and Sophie very kindly took us through the workshop on how to make a project bag. So we picked our own fabric for the inside and the main fabric on the outside, and yeah, Sophie is an excellent teacher. I think she was a bit shocked when I said she very clearly went into like teaching mode, but she knows exactly what she's doing. She has made so many of these and taught the workshop a lot of times, so she knows in advance the problems people are likely to have or the bits that people find difficult, so she's giving you advice on them even before you hit the problem. But I absolutely love it, and it's now housing my Buzz block party because, somewhat shamefully, this has been a whip for about 18 months and it has been living in the pattern plastic wallet with the paper pattern that whole time. Yikes. Yeah. While I was there, I couldn't help but buy one as well. So I love this one. It's going to be my Halloween-y sort of theme. It's got all kinds of things. Mice brains, lizard's tongue, bat's blood, lizard's breath, all sorts. So for now, this has my There Is Room, because Soph, the turtle, is the first person I saw stitching this. I think Rach gifted her the pattern, but she was the first one I saw posting it, so it made me think of her. So it's living in my Soph, one of my many Soph bags. It's got a super cute little raven charm. Love that. I also obviously bought a bunch of fabric to make up some future project bags, because I have no self-control when it comes to fabrics now. On the note of fabrics, as I said, my mum came to visit for her birthday, and I gifted her the FFO, but we also went for a little shopping trip. So we went over to Kidderminster to go to an incredible fabric shop called Oh So Crafty. And I shot myself in the foot, because as we walked from the car where we parked into the shop, I said to my mum, I don't need to buy any more printed cotton. I don't need any more. I have too much. I had a whole batch of project bags that I was already in the midst of making. I don't need more. And maybe 2 minutes into the shop, we'd like split up, gone to look for clues. But yeah, 2 minutes in the shop, and she came around a corner and found me with a stack of bolts of fabric that I wanted some of. In my defence, they were really cool and I'd never seen them anywhere else. And the shop is like an hour away from home, so it's not like I can just pop back. So we came home with a bunch of dinosaur fabric. Sorry, Emma. Sorry, not sorry. I know you won't mind. So yeah, I also managed to pick up some fabric that was actually intended for Emma. She has trusted me to FFO her Annie B's 12 Days of Christmas stockings, so I needed some fabrics for that. And I've been looking, and you won't be surprised to hear that it's sometimes challenging to find Christmas themed fabrics in the middle of May. But we found some, so we're all good, all set. What else? So I mentioned a second ago, I have been working on project bags. I am really hoping to get those done in the next couple of weeks. I am really grateful for everyone's help narrowing down, because I had cut out far too many to make in one go. It was just too much. I was very overwhelmed. So thank you for helping me narrow things down. Those are now, like, they're all quilted. I'm just trimming them down to size, and then it's just getting the zips on and then closing them up, basically. So I'm hoping those will be done in the next few weeks. If you are interested in project bags, the best thing to do is go follow me on Instagram, because that is where they will go up for sale. Yay. I'm really excited. There's so many in there that I'm like, I kind of want to keep this one, but I know I can't. I don't need more project bags, she says, having just made one and bought one. It is what it is. I'm sure I'm going to come back to New Designer November. We're going to come back to that. So that's everything that I have been up to. What is next? What are the future plans? So because I've been doing Monogamous May, I have paused doing things like Flosstuber Frenzy. So I need to catch up on that. Basically, what I normally do, any videos that my chosen Flosstubers upload in April, I would have done the stitches in May. Any that they uploaded in May, I would do in June. Because I paused it, I basically got 2 months worth to do. Now, I added these up yesterday, and it does come to 7,500 stitches, which is a lot. It's more than I intended. I do have the option to knock 2,000 of those off, because for Anna of the Alchemist Stitcher, my original plan was 200 stitches per video, but the first time I got the project out to do 200 stitches, I kind of kept going and did a whole colour. So I've unofficially changed that to be I'm going to do a whole colour every time she uploads a video. But she's never done 2 in a month before, so now I have 2 to do at once. It's like 3,300 of those 7,500 are just on that one project, which I absolutely can do. I wouldn't even hate it, to be honest, because it's just 2 colours. It's what my brain considers easy stitching. But I think the second colour I might deprioritise, and if I have time at the end of June I might slot that back in. But I'm not gonna stress over it, right? The vibe is these things are there to encourage me to work on my big projects because I don't want to neglect them. So yeah, by doing this I will get more stitches than if I wasn't doing Flosstuber Frenzy. I will get more focused work on those big pieces one way or another. So even if I don't keep up or hit that goal, it's chill. We also have Whip Go. I did do May's Whip Go calls, but I will need to do the June ones. And I also now have a number of colours that are like optional catch up, optional like bonus colours that I could catch up on if I wanted to. And lastly, on my sort of, I don't like the phrase obligation stitching, but things that I need to get done, my model stitch. So obviously I can't show you the model stitch itself, but I made a start on the 3rd colour last night. I've shown you these before. They're gorgeous. It's really interesting seeing how a thread that's this variegated stitches up. It's looking absolutely stunning. So those are my like checklist of things that I want to tick off. I'm probably going to go model stitch, then Whip Go, then Flosstuber Frenzy in terms of prioritising those. And then we also have our June theme, yay! So we're going for Jewel Tone June, brought to you by the fact that I had to look through a dictionary for a J word that worked as a theme. I have one project that I want to focus on because of this theme, and that is my Greenhouse of Oddities. It's just been knocking around for like 18 months and I feel like I'm not getting out often enough, so I figured this was a great time to focus on it. I'm doing it on a gorgeous fabric from Weeks Dye Works called Tiger's Eye. So it's a gorgeous sort of deep yellow colour. Kind of actually like the lighter yellow in this. I don't have it handy so I can't show you. But yeah, hoping to get some good progress on that. And I think if I just buckle down and do it, it won't actually take that long. So my other project for June is a new start. There's a couple of colours missing here because I've swiped them for other things, but I am going to be stitching this with Rosie from Rosie X Stitches and Sarah from Stitchy Bug. I am super excited for this. I had this down on my NewDesignerNovember list, but it's kind of a stretch to call Needlelot Designs a new designer. I have started a project. I'm planning to UFO and restart it, but I figured if I UFO'd it, then it's a new designer again. But no, Rosie was going to start this as well, so I am jumping on the bandwagon and starting it early, and I'm super excited. And it worked out perfectly because I ordered this fabric and some others from Coffee Crafts, and then we had the conversation about starting it, and I remember thinking, oh, I know what fabric I'm going to do that on. I know what I've got in my order that's going to be perfect. I'm really excited for that. I think that's going to be another one, kind of like Gamer, where you can have that, you outline and then it's filling in. Nice easy colour fill. While I'm talking about fabrics, Coffee Crafts had a sale, so we got a lot 20 count. So some gorgeous sort of a darker green with some sort of blue tones in there. Got a nice peachy colour with some pinks. We've got a nice another blue and green but a lot lighter. It's a nice sort of naturey, maybe underwater vibe on that one. And then I really loved this one, and someone swiped the 20 count version whilst I was looking. So I went back and got the 40 instead, which isn't normally my go-to. Like I absolutely will stitch on it, but how gorgeous is this? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So, fabric stash. What can I say? I got sucked in. I'm not even a little bit sorry though. So, other things coming up. So, talked about June. I've talked about June stitching. Other things coming up. I have 3 retreats in the next 5 weeks, and I don't really know how or why I've done that to myself. There's a week off in between each of them, so like a weekend in between. So it could definitely be worse, and it has been worse. I have done worse to myself. Not that these are bad things, I will be exhausted by the end of it. So this coming weekend I have the Itching for Stitching retreat, which I'm very excited for. It's a nice small one. It's got a really chill vibe. I didn't really clock until I went to this one how much all the background noise of like 40 to 80 people chatting in a room, how much that like tires me out over the course of a weekend. It's just, I think it's about 20, maybe 25 people max at Itching for Stitching. It's just so chill. I love it. A couple of weeks later we have the Ladybird retreat, and again I think this one's going to be quite small. I think there's only about 25. I think Ladybird is normally a bit bigger. It's normally around the sort of 40 to 50 mark, but this one's a little bit smaller. And yeah, some of my favourite girlies are going to that one. Some of the people that have been at every Ladybird I've ever been to. So really looking forward to seeing them and having a nice chill one. And then lastly, the big one, we have the Big Stitch. I am excited for the Big Stitch. I am also a little bit nervous just because it's so big. It's going to be the biggest one I've ever been to. I'm a bit nervous about the level of noise and just general overwhelm. I am really grateful. I'm going to be tagging along with Lauren from Flossabilities and Mama Flossabilities. I'm very excited to meet both of them in person. I think we are also sitting with the girls from Stitching with My Littlely, so Kayla and Lauren. And yeah, we'll see who else when we get there, but I am really grateful to have some familiar faces. I will say, if you're coming to any of these, please do come and say hi. Just also please bear with me, because I will probably be in a continual state of overwhelm. I love meeting people. I just also, yeah, bear with me. If I've got the one blanket thing is, if I've resorted to putting my noise cancelling headphones on, maybe come back later. You will have a nicer conversation with me if I'm not having a bit of a breakdown. Yeah. But I am really excited. I feel like I've just made it sound like I am absolutely dreading these things. I am really excited. I just trying to be sensible about my capacity. Oh, hi, Betty. Okay. It's, for anyone not in the UK, it's been a really hot few days, and Alfie, being a big fluffy black dog, small fluffy black dog, really likes to sunbathe. So he has a tendency, we've learnt to sort of trust him to self-regulate. So he will go and lay outside and bask in the sun, and then he will come and like lay by the front door because it's the coolest spot in the house, and it's got sort of bare vinyl tiles, so it's quite cool on his tummy. But yeah. Silly sausage likes to cook himself in the sun. What else? So I've already mentioned project bags on, sorry, that is Alfie. Fun. So quick run through, because I feel like I'm getting sidetracked. I have already mentioned project bags coming on Instagram, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Again, if you are going to any of those retreats and you wanted to buy them, I will happily like forego charging you postage so I can bring them to you in person. Happy to do that. I mentioned that I have done a bunch of filming, so at the very least the sewing method tutorial I'm hoping to get edited and uploaded during June, so if you have been asking about that, keep an eye out, that will be coming soon. And then slightly longer term, in my monthly themes there were 2 things in particular that people a number of people messaged and said they wanted to join in with, or that they were like, they really like the sound of. So NewDesignerNovember, several people have said they're going to join. I know Rosie has started creating her own list of new designers. For me, this is already spiraling wildly out of control. So I recorded that 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. My list already has 31 designers on it. I've started like prioritizing the ones that I'm obsessed with this, I want to start it tomorrow, really must do it in November, if not sooner. And I've started thinking about materials, so I'm trying to lean into using stuff from my stash. But yeah, there's already like 7 things on there that I really desperately want to start. And it's only been 3 weeks, and I've got another 5 months during which I suspect it will continue to spiral even further out of control. So I don't know what to do about that. At some point I might need some help. I might need to put some votes up, or I don't know, do something like a March Madness style, help me like narrow down which ones to work on. But then I want to work on all, like I want to start all of them, so I almost don't want to let someone else decide, because whatever you decide, I'll be disappointed in the thing that I don't get to start. So I don't know what to do about that, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess, for now. I'm trying to avoid buying things yet, if there are gaps like patterns and things that I'm going to need, just because over the course of the 5 months there might be other things. I might see a new design from that designer that trumps the one that I'd already picked, and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to be sensible about it, but I have a horrible feeling that it's gonna spiral and end up being like a new start, like mania style, like a new start every day or every other day or something. It is what it is. I'm just rolling with it. We'll see what happens. The other thing that lots of people said that they were really interested in or liked the sound of is my plan to do Stitch from Stash next year. So a lot of you, I'm sure, will have heard of Stitch from Stash. The one that I have heard of, there's a Facebook group for it. And the idea is it's budget based. So you give yourself a monthly budget. So for example, when I did it, I think I gave myself £10 a month. And then you earn, I say in air quotes, you earn credit by finishing things. So if you're doing full coverages, you could... Alfie, what are you doing? If you... Sorry, he's trying to climb into like a gap between a backpack, a radiator and a beanbag that was definitely not big enough for him. If you work on full coverages and you finish a page, you got a certain amount of credit. If you work on smaller things, you got credit based on like the stitch dimensions. And I did do it, and I did enjoy it, and it did help me whip down, and it helped me focus on using the stuff I had. But it also very much encouraged me to focus on small projects, because fundamentally they're more efficient. You get more money in your pot faster by finishing small things than by working on big things. So, and also it's a lot of tracking and keeping track of what you spent, and yeah, it didn't work great for me. What I'm planning to do instead is a much simpler version. Basically, to start a project, you need a pattern, a fabric, and threads, right? 3 things. The logic that I'm going with is you can buy one as long as the other 2 are coming from your stash. So for example, if you see a pattern, a new release that you love, absolutely crack on and buy it, as long as the fabric you're stitching it or going to stitch it on comes from your stash and you already have the threads. I'm very lucky that I have a full DMC set, so fundamentally the threads should always be covered, right? In some cases it might be that I have fabric, or like there are lots of grey areas in this, right? I'm not going to make it like rules. There are no police for this. It's a bit of fun. It's to help you use your stash or think more about using your stash. For example, if a chart was a freebie and I can find fabric already, I might treat myself to a nice variegated thread or something. A couple of caveats: I'm still going to be getting my thread club from Rachel. I may or may not be signing up to another one of those soon, next time it opens. And if I run out of a DMC colour, I'm just going to replace it. But other than those, my plan is to not, I'm only going to buy something if it's going into a new start imminently. I'm not buying things just to go into stash. So I absolutely could have gone and bought something in the Coffee Crafts thing sale, but only if I had a pattern and threads and I was going to start it pretty imminently. I wouldn't have just bought these for stash the way I did. What it does mean is I might end up keeping a list of like things I have in mind to start, so that when I go to a retreat and I have the chance to look at fabrics in person, I've got like a short list and I'm not mentally scrabbling like, oh, have I got the threads for that at home to justify buying this piece of fabric. I know what I've got, what are my 2 out of 3 and what's the third one that I'm looking for, if that makes sense. That is the plan, and I rallied the help of the Sal Queens, Emma and Jo, to come up with a better way of explaining this, because obviously it's quite wordy to try and explain the 1 out of 3 being 1 out of 3 being something you can buy. And Jo came up with the genius version of buy one get one free of buy one get two from stash. It doesn't shrink down into a nice simple acronym, but buy one get two from stash is what we're rolling with. So if you were one of the people who was interested, I don't know how, like maybe set up a Facebook group. The other thing I thought would be cool actually is if people are doing this, you could do swaps. So if I really want, like one of the New Designer November projects that I have in mind, I really want like a buttery yellow even weave in like a 32 or a 36 count. I don't have that in my stash, but I also want to buy the pattern. So I might go to my fabric stash and put a post up in a Facebook group for this very reason that exists for this very challenge and be like, I'm really looking for this fabric. What do you need in exchange? Let's see if I have something that you need, you have something I need, let's do a swap. To me that doesn't count as shopping, that's trading. That's different. You're not gaining new stash, like you're not ending up with more stash than you started with. So I don't know why I keep holding those up. Yeah, if you are interested, let me know. If there's enough interest, I might pop together a Facebook group for that one. I feel like I have waffled for quite a while, so let's wrap it up with some Flosstube recommendations. I have been having a really good run recently of coming across new floss tubes that I really vibe with. Either like I just really like the way the person comes across, like their personality, or they've got a really soothing voice, or they have a really similar stitching style to me, so I get enabled a lot, which is debatable whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, I've been having a really good run, so I wanted to give some shout outs to some of the people that I have really enjoyed watching recently. So first up is someone who is new to me but not new to Flosstube, she's been around for just over a year, is Pam from Ditsy Daisy Crafts. I came across her Whip Parade, which I think she filmed in April. I think she's got 2 or 3 episodes since then. But I came across her Whip Parade and thoroughly enjoyed it. It is quite a long one. I did watch it over the course of 2 days over the weekend whilst the weather was hot and I was hiding inside with the last of my gamer stitching. But let's just say a number of the 31 projects on my New Designer November list are thanks to Pam. And she has very kindly helped me out today with one of the patterns. She's doing like a shrunk down version. She's missing off a chunk at the bottom and a chunk at the top, and she has very kindly sent me the information for the dimensions and the stitch count, because one of the things for New Designer November is I don't want to start anything huge, so I wanted to make sure that that was a sensible stitch count and also know the dimensions so I can be looking at my stash for fabric before I went and purchased the pattern, rather than buying something and realising it's way bigger than I realised and not feasible for for a start in November. So thank you, Pam, and I really enjoyed your floss tube, and yeah, I could listen to Pam talk for days. She's got a lovely soothing voice. The next one is a new Flosstuber. I say that she was new to Flosstube about a month ago. I want to say Catherine, but I'm not 1,000,000% sure that's correct. Catherine Arabella Pumpkin Stitches. I think last time I saw her channel pop up she had 3 videos, but I just really enjoy. She's UK cross stitcher. She's just got a really chill vibe. I really liked the whip she was showing. Yeah, lovely new Flosstuber. Definitely go give her a watch and give her some support. Alfie's back. And then lastly, I wanted to shout out Holly from House of Hood. So Holly put up her first video about a month ago now, I think, 4 or 5 weeks ago. And again, I just really loved all of her whips. And I think for her first floss tube, she was saying that she was quite nervous and quite anxious. But she shared so much of herself. She shared some of her background and some of the health things that she struggles with, which I know from personal experience is really hard to open up about to complete strangers on the internet. So I'm super impressed that she did that, and we've exchanged some messages since, and hopefully gonna organise to meet up at some point. But yeah, I just go give her a watch. She's lovely. And her projects are lovely, and I really hope that she's felt the love from everyone's comments and things, and that she decides to continue filming as and when she's ready to. I would love to see more from Holly. That is all for now. I was hoping this was going to be like, it's shorter than normal, let's be real. They're normally an hour, so we've managed somewhat shorter than normal, but I'm going to leave you there. I hope that you're all coping well with the weather. A friendly reminder that some medications make it harder for your body to tolerate heat, so if you are on medications, please check whether they are likely to be affecting you. Look after yourself, drink lots of water, stay in the shade, do all the sensible things, don't get sunburnt like Sherry. But yeah, look after yourselves, happy stitching, and I will be back soon with some more stitchy updates. Bye for now.